Hello, everyone. Welcome along to the VCO Esports studio, the weekly chat show with me, Ben Constanduros, meeting the personalities around the esports sim racing world. And as VCO, we are incredibly excited about the various things that we've got coming up over the next couple of months. We've got the Pro Sim series coming up in a few weeks' time, and also a very exciting new partnership with Neo Endurance and the 24H series esports events. And the boss of that company is joining us today, Niel Hekkens. Have I said that right, Neil?
Hekkens.
Hekkens. Yeah, that was not too bad.
Yeah, no.
We always start the chat show with making sure the pronunciation's correct, because to be honest, we're not very good in the sim racing world about getting anyone's pronunciation right, especially things easy as things like Sebastian Job and people like that. So Neil, first of all, it's great to have you with us, and it's very exciting to have your events with the VCO.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm very excited with this great partnership with VCO. Also with Creventic, who organized the 24H series, of course, in real life. We can now take the next steps for this league, which has I think I have been waiting for this for a couple of years now.
Talk about the history of your particular league, because it's only recent that it really has had official partnership and recognition from the real life counterpart.
Yeah, indeed. So we started Neo Endurance, I think in 2011 or 2012. So I was racing on iRacing with a Danish friend, Danish competitor. We had a great battle, and after the race, we started chatting. We both like endurance racing, and then Neo Endurance started. It has been quite a success from the start. With first the Neo Endurance series for 5 seasons, and so last year we had the official partnership with Creventic to run the virtual esports series for them. And now they were very happy with the first year, and now they really want to step it up for now, this year and in the future.
And therefore, what does the VCO partnership bring to the partnerships that you already have, I suppose, now?
I think with VCO, I think we can have a good so I think both VCO and 24H series, they want to bring real motorsports and sim racing together now. Mm-hmm. And I think both parties are approaching it from a slightly different way. 24H series, obviously from the motorsport side, VCO from the marketing side, and I think that's a good fit together to bring those brands into sim racing.
And the Neo Endurance series, what was kind of the philosophy behind creating it, and the thoughts behind it? Because for me, having been a participant, amazingly, considering how bad I am at iRacing, it has a very different feel to a lot of other esports competitions.
Yeah, I mean, I think we wanted to mainly have fun as a league, and also for the competitors. A lot of real high-end esports series are too far away for a lot of teams, and we wanted to be in that gap between esports, actually really esports, and just just leagues for fun. But if we want to do something, we want to do it well. So we try to do everything as professional as possible from the beginning, and I think that is what really attracted a lot of teams and drivers.
Yeah, I mean, the setup and the way that you have just basically put together the back end of the events was incredibly impressive for me. And then I think the main thing that seems to stand out over the competitors is your real world, or your real your human stewarding. I don't know if you've got a better word for it, but that doesn't exist very often in sim racing.
No, indeed, and especially in iRacing, everything is automated in the official series, and I think that's also where we thought we could make a difference compared to the official races, to have real humans stewarding the races. It has yeah, I think it has worked very well. Especially, we can also utilize the automated parts of iRacing system, but also on top of that, we have our human judgment, and therefore it's not always ones and zeros, and or you're at fault or not, and I think that makes the racing more enjoyable for everyone.
And a little bit closer to real life. The other thing that you've managed to do over the quarantine period with 24H Series is also bringing in professional real world commentary teams. Just how important did you feel that was to the success this year of the broadcasts?
I think I didn't, to be honest, I didn't expect it to be that important, but it turned out to be quite quite important, because a lot of real racing fans, or people who are not really into sim racing, they hear a familiar voice, and I think that's also what that keeps them longer watching longer at a sim race. Otherwise, so I think that's quite important to have a familiar voice in sim racing as well.
So the calendar's been announced. You've got 6 events across October through to April next year. Noticeably, though, considering it's called the 24H Series, no 24-hour race.
No, indeed. The Neo Endurance started with inspiration for the WC. So we always had 6-hour races.
Yeah.
We had a couple of seasons with 24 hours races as a finale, but last season, we just proposed to do a 12-hour race, and I didn't hate it to be working 12 hours instead of 24 hours, and so we stick with 12 hours for now, and it worked pretty well.
Do you feel like, though, there is a thirst, a desire for 24-hour races? Ultimately, I think the interesting thing for me, coming from the real world, is that 24-hour races in a simulated world have so many less variables than the real world. And therefore, the racing can get quite stale because there isn't somebody throwing in rain or a safety car or all those things that kind of make endurance racing interesting.
Yeah, exactly. We always have been looking at, like, maybe we should do safety cars or full course yellows or code 60s in Croventics way, but I think the safety cars are mainly there for safety, of course, in real life, so the marshals can do their jobs, and we think it doesn't really make sense because there are no marshals and you can reset very quickly. So it would add a lot more work than necessary, I think, and that's why we decided not to have any safety cars. But we're still every year we're still looking at the possibilities to see maybe we can do it next year or not. And but it also takes a lot of manpower to do that, to do everything manually.
Now, we talk about kind of variables in 24-hour racing. You, I'm sure, were kind of watching what was going on for the 24 hours of virtual 24 hours of Le Mans. Okay, not an iRacing product, but have you ever looked and considered perhaps moving to do different platforms?
No, not really, actually. I mean, I've been playing iRacing since 2011. I'm very familiar with how it works, the quirks, and how to set everything up. So we always use iRacing. I think there are already a lot of great leagues in the other platform, like R Factor 2. I think we should stick with iRacing for now.
And you, as a personal fan of driving, have you ever considered having a quick go at VC or even now Assetto Corsa Competizione? They're starting to get a hold of doing something a little more than a sprint race.
Yeah, no, as a driver, not per se. I've been quite busy, so I try to stick to iRacing for now, just because I know it and I can jump very quickly into a race. Otherwise it would be too time consuming for me.
So okay, let's get away from Neo and the up and coming series, and let's talk about Niel. Where did your kind of understanding and passion for online racing initially come from?
I think it started with Grand Prix 2. My nephew, he introduced me to that, but I was very young, like 7 or 8. Once I got to high school, college, when I started iRacing, then the passion for motorsports really grew into crazy heights, and it's been a pretty crazy journey, I think, because from what I notice as a spectator, motorsports is quite a bubble, and it's hard to get into. But once you're in the bubble, it's like an entire new world, and no, it has been amazing, and also to see how I could get into that bubble from an alternative way, which is sim racing now, and I think the sim racing will be a valid path into motorsport, not only as a driver but any job, I think. Yeah.
So did you have any passions or desires to be a real world driver, or it was always sim racing?
No, I think, as a kid, you always wanted to be a race car driver, but then I realized, the chances are pretty slim. And then I realized, okay, sim racing is, as a driver, the closest I could get to of being a driver, which is, I think, fine. But then I also realized, okay, you can also get into esports, motorsports, like not as a driver, but also as an organizer. And that also fueled my passion now lately with doing organizing events.
Yeah, because that's really interesting. We've got so many thousands of drivers out there fulfilling their desire to participate, but to actually, did you have a bit of a desire to be an event organizer, or did that something really kind of end up being something that happened by mistake?
Yeah, I think it actually happened by mistake because we were racing. So Egil and I, so my co-founder Egil, we were racing each other and then started chatting, and then we became friends. Later, a couple of years later, we even met like at Spa-Francorchamps for the 24 hours. And I think that's also the power of gaming. I think in general, where you meet people online, they can become real friends. Friends in real life, and there are many opportunities that can arise from just gaming and being involved in the community.
And so where do you see it going for you? Is this something that could potentially take over as a career, or is this still a hobby? I mean, obviously it's not a hobby in the sense that it's incredibly well organized, and therefore it doesn't come across as somebody just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment I do most of it in my spare times. My wife is not always happy with that, but I think with Creventic, there's now really an opportunity to make this a full-time career, which is I couldn't imagine even a couple of years ago, which shows how quickly sim racing is growing.
How has that relationship been? Because presumably running an unofficial series, you initially started with no communication with 24H series and with Creventic, and slowly but surely, did you push and actively try and get them involved, or did they go, "Oh, hang on a second, there's an online series going on"?
No, I approached them a couple of years ago. I already noticed, like, okay, this is Creventic, their vision is quite similar to ours, like just have the races for everyone available. Fun is the top priority for everyone. So I thought that was a match already, and I think they also, the way they approach things, it's very sensible, like not throw a lot of money immediately at it, but also really build a foundation, see if there's an opportunity, and then build from there. And yeah, I think that was a great match from the start, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see where this path can take us.
But was it official when you began, or was it kind of unofficial, borrowing names, and now it's become much more solidified?
Yeah, so last year, so the first year with the 24/8 series esports, we could just organize it for under their name.
Yeah.
But now it's really becoming official with 24/8 series also taking over Neo Endurance. And yeah, I think this is a great next step for them as well, and show their commitment for sim racing.
Yeah, because I think what's really interesting with Creventic is, their target is the gentleman driver, is the guy that wants to have a great time going racing at a weekend. They pick their venues very cleverly to make sure there are nice hotels and it's the right time of year, and there'll be nice restaurants to go to, and something as a commentator I've benefited from. And then there was this realization from the whole sim world that actually that translates into the sim world, and there are guys out there who are happy to spend a decent chunk of money on a rig, and they need also somewhere to participate. So is there a place in your endurance series for the gentleman driver, for the guy that doesn't have a 10,000 I rating, and how can you involve those people that have less experience? Because ultimately, like myself, I'm nowhere near the level that is really required for your series at the moment.
Yeah, that's also quite difficult because due to the popularity, there's also a lot of people who want to be in the series. But there's only limited space available, unfortunately. But if you could do like what they call multiple splits, so multiple races at the same time, so you can accept everyone, but that also is really difficult to maintain. You also need like double the capacity organizing. So and if you don't double the capacity, then I don't think it's fair for the people who are not in like the top split. So I rather not do that at the moment. But we are looking into ways to get everyone involved, and as much as possible, because I think just like Creventic, it should be open for everyone. And I hope we can do that soon.
So you're looking forward to a completely full grid for the championship then?
Yeah, so the 24/8 series esports grid is already full for this season.
Wow.
With 55 cars. With I think the times were very competitive, so the racing will be very, very close, I think. And starting at Imola, it's not the easiest track, but we'll see. I think the people can manage it.
Yeah, and how do you choose the calendar? What goes into deciding which tracks to go to?
Yeah, so we decide that together with Creventic. Obviously, they would like to see as much tracks as possible that they run on or have run on. Unfortunately, not all tracks are available in iRacing, so we have to pick and choose. And sometimes we also want to do something a bit different with, for example, Sebring now. So I think that's a nice change for the standard, the tracks.
And we just need to fly that flag for Portimao to be built into iRacing, don't we? Because that's the one that they all enjoy. That's the one that we all enjoy. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? We'll get
exactly. Exactly. I mean, there are many tracks. They're still on, I think, on everybody's wish list. That should come to iRacing, but we'll see. We just have to be patient.
And in terms of the way that the calendar is kind of divided up across quite a large time scale, really, end of October through to end of April, what's the thought behind that?
Yeah, we always try to do one race a month. Otherwise, it takes a lot of time to prepare for everyone. So we try to do that. And this season, I decided to skip December because of all the holidays, and also with the new iRacing build that's scheduled in that month. So just to give everyone some time off as well. And then then you end up with the final race in April.
Yeah, you don't want to have to run something on a brand new build and get caught out by bugs. That's for sure.
No, exactly. Or a BOP change in the Tuesday before the race. It's always fun as well.
Yeah. Niels, thank you very much. It's been really interesting to kind of get your deep thoughts on the championship, and really looking forward to seeing how the partnership with VCO and 24 Creventic goes. And fingers crossed, my voice might be part of it. Let's see. Thank you very much for joining us. Every week, VCO Studio is on Monday evenings at 8 o'clock. We never know who we're going to have as a guest, but we keep pushing to get the very best and most interesting people on our show. And we are happy to announce the partnership with VCO and Creventic and Neo Endurance. And many thanks to Niel for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
See you next week.